also keeping up with National Travel Day. Why not bring in the guy, of course, who's traveling more than most people in the whole country, CBS travel editor Peter Greenberg, who I always love talking to. Good morning, Peter. How are you?
And good. I'm doing fine, Dana. How are you?
I am fine, thank you. Okay, we want to start with something anyone who might be about to fly domestically especially should know about. The words, I don't know where you are probably the last thing a pilot wants to hear from an air traffic controller, but that is what happened at Newark International Airport. That's scary. We've been asking you about air traffic controllers for over a year now, but is this, the biggest concern so far, this, this blackout, these screen blackouts that Newark Airport had over the last many days?
Well, believe it or not, it's a continuing concern. It's not new. It's just the most recent. We're dealing with an FAA that's saddled with like 5 different problems: budget, staffing, training, not to mention equipment. And they're dealing with 30 and 40-year-old technology. There's some controllers out there who are separating planes in the tower, moving around strips of paper. We're dealing with, not that long ago, they were using old cathode ray tubes in the system. The problem is, under FAA and federal procurement processes, if you want to put in new generation technology, the procedure of getting that approved and budgeted is so long that by the time you implement it, it's old technology. That's problem number one. Problem number two is the number of controllers. You and I have talked about this before. At HCC centers in Aurora, in New York, in New Jersey, in Philadelphia, even out in California, we're dealing with centers that are operating at 85% staffing thresholds. That means you're forcing controllers to work mandatory overtime in the one job that nobody should ever have to work overtime. So you need enough budget to hire people, enough time to train them. This is not a learn while you earn process. It takes about 2 years for a controller to be able to sit at a console by himself or herself and then control the planes. So it's not an easy fix, but it's got to get started now.
Well, it's so interesting, too, because this at a time when the Trump administration is looking to cut, most federal agencies. So I would ask you, what's the immediate answer here? Actually, I'm going to ask you, what is the immediate answer? What happens now?
Well, the immediate answer is actually quite obvious when you think about it. If a plane has an accident, you're basically hurting or killing both Republicans and Democrats. It's not a political issue here. It's safety. And you can't put a price tag on safety. You got to fix it. So right now, you have almost unanimous consent here at this point that we have a problem. The question is, how fast is Congress going to move to appropriate the funds? How fast is the FAA going to change their culture to be able to hire, train people, not just to work in the towers, but to inspect the manufacturing process at places like Boeing, to inspect the maintenance processes at the airlines, and the overseas maintenance processes at independent operators, which right now have very little oversight. All this starts to happen now. It has to.
Yeah, it has to, because the last thing we want is a tragedy because of this, growing situation. All right, before I let you go, we focused on kind of that one subject today, but I have to know, where are you?
I'm going to bore you today. I'm only in New York.
Only in New York. All right. I know. I mean, you were in Malta recently. That was really exciting. But New York is pretty exciting, too. Okay, CBS travel editor Peter Greenberg, thank you so much. And I look forward to talking to you again next week. Well,